circle of red back and I'm going and leaving tracks in morning. And I don't give a crap whether you streaming, you torrent this. You can try to contest, but you'll be needing an army. Beat them in Normandy, current rappers eat to the warning stone.
Welcome to 3 Count Commentaries. Now let's talk about the big storyline of the evening. Randy Orton finally giving that RKO to our boy Riddle. So Randy Orton comes out, he welcomes us to Raw, and then here comes Riddle. Riddle gets a pretty good reaction. And Riddle's got one of the better reactions all evening. This was a pretty sleepy crowd. You know, they weren't really even up for Randy. So there was a lot of sweetening on the television that was taking place. In any event, Randy Orton was wearing a RK Bro hoodie, so it was very strange when Riddle said, "Do you want to be partners, bro?" And Randy was like, "What makes you think I would ever want to be partners with you?" It's like, because you're wearing an RK Bro hoodie. You know, and he started talking about how they were a good team and that, you've been doing fine by yourself. I'll do better alone. I don't need you. AJ Styles comes out, says some stuff. Man, he said, "That's cap. That's cap right there. That's a lie." But Randy Orton said to him that his ego was big. His ego was as big as a mosque. And I was like, okay, I see what was going on here. Of course, this led to the match, AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. Throughout the show, he kept touching base with Randy Orton and Riddle, as Riddle wanted to be in his corner, and Randy Orton said no. So then Riddle says later into the show, "Look, I got to do what I got to do." They showed this great vignette of RK Bro, which includes Riddle dancing, and everything that has involved Riddle has been great. His comedic timing is really good. He's doing so well with the material that they give him, and he was great all throughout the show. He's been great for weeks now. They've been doing nothing really, just beating Riddle up, especially during the Lashley days back in February around the Elimination Chamber. All he was really doing was getting beat up and thrown around by Lashley. But they've been doing a really good job with Riddle, is that he's been pretty elastic. He can get beat up, lose matches, win matches, lose matches, and then bounce right back, and then work matches in which the crowd can get into it. And he has great timing and great comedic timing too. So this vignette really put over how great RK Bro has been. Then they have the match, and the match was Randy Orton versus AJ Styles. They have a pretty banger of a match, as to be expected, between Randy Orton and AJ Styles, two masters at work. You're going to get a solid main event. So what takes place is that Omos, of course, is distracting Randy Orton. He's kind of intimidating him. And what we get is Riddle jumps on Omos's back. And that, of course, leads to AJ Styles doing the springboard into the RKO. It's an overused finish between these two guys. I don't know how many times, Randy Orton has done the RKO out of the mid-air. It never ceases to be impressive because it takes great timing to do it. But, once you saw AJ Styles do a springboard, he's going to jump into the RKO. So it kind of loses its surprise factor, when it comes to that. So Randy Orton defeats AJ Styles. And you would think, okay, now RK Bro is going to become the tag team champions or something like that. They're going to wrestle for the tag team titles. Riddle is very, very, very excited. Randy gives him a hug after the match, and they raise arms. And the moment he raised Randy's arm, I was like, oh, it's coming. It's coming. Then he goes I think he turns to the right, and he raises his arms again. That put them right in line with the hard cam. So, because the RKO is a side move. They put them right in line with the hard cam. Boom, RKO. Randy smiles. Riddle is down. And that is the sword of Damascus finally falling upon our boy Riddle. Now, we still have... Now, the clear direction would be for Riddle versus Randy at SummerSlam as an opportunity to put Riddle over and take Riddle to the next level. I can see them doing that because that's similar to what they did with Kevin Owens, with his tag team with Chris Jericho. They also did the same thing with Y2 AJ. Remember Chris Jericho and AJ Styles? They did a similar thing. They had that short run where they build up relationship between the two guys. It's funny, it's fun, and then one turns on the other, and that kind of lifts the younger of the two guys. Even though I'm not sure. Well, yeah, Styles is younger than Jericho. Lifts the guy to the next level. It gives them a great, it's kind of mid card, but it's kind of upper mid card. And it puts them on a higher tier. And that's really what we're trying to do with Riddle right now. Is I don't know if Riddle is going to be like the next opponent for Lashley, though I think it would be pretty sweet if it was. But I think that taking him to the next level is very, very necessary. And Randy Orton's the right guy to do it because Randy Orton actually likes Riddle. And the fans like Riddle. The fans want Riddle. They're going to want to see him beat up Randy Orton. The other branch that he could go with is Riddle being a ditz. So because that's part of his character, he could say, well, I forgive you, Randy. I know you were just confused, or maybe you thought I was AJ Styles or whatever, and come up with some excuse for him to forgive Randy Orton. I don't think they should go that route. I think they should go straight up with Riddle versus Orton. I think that's really what people will get up for. I think that the idea of RK Bro as a tag team, while fun, I think we've squeezed a lot of juice out of that orange already. And I think that they've sold merchandise and different things like that already. So I think we go ahead and we go with Riddle versus Orton. Now, they didn't explain why Randy Orton was gone for 7 weeks. They didn't bother to explain. They don't explain when guys disappear at all. They didn't explain where Keith Lee went. Speaking of Keith Lee, where the hell is Mia Yim? She's been gone longer than he has. She's been gone since like December, right? Where the hell did she go? Anyway, he must have eaten her. Again. Oh, well, never mind. To see Riddle get taken to the next level. And I think that's very important because he's been knocking it out of the park with the character that he's been portraying. He's in his bullshit stage where, they're trying to make him into a Kurt Angle where he's a wrestling machine. He's an idiot savant, a lot like, Goku from Dragon Ball, where he talks, with everything he says is annoying and it makes no sense. But when he gets in the ring, everything he does is crisp and good and clean and everything. And I think he's going to be able to fill in to that Kurt Angle role very easily and very quickly. And I think that he's been doing the best of all the recent NXT call-ups, of the Keith Lees, of the Riddles, the Priests, Cross, Rhea Ripley. Well, Bianca Belair, of course, is doing better than all of them, but Riddle is up there. As far as taking what he's been given and being able to make the most of it, he's been doing a very good job. And they haven't been helping him a lot because he's been had repetitive opponents. He loses matches where he probably should win. He's been put his sidekick. He won the United States title completely by accident because he wasn't supposed to be even in the match. And that kind of thing. But he also ended up with a pretty big match at WrestleMania with Sheamus. So this is the good next level. It's beyond the United States title. It's a feud with a former world champion, a guy who can, hold a show on his own. And that's essentially what they did with Randy Orton. They didn't put any other stars on this show. They just put Randy. No John Cena. No, they didn't bring Goldberg in. They put Lashley on at the 10 o'clock hour. So it wasn't like they leaned on him, which I have a problem with. We will talk about that in the Lashley video if I ever get around to doing it. But, so they let Randy's star power pretty much carry the show. And gave him the main event spot. So Riddle dancing with him at SummerSlam could be a big deal. It's an important milestone feud with Riddle and Randy Orton. And you could run that probably through the fall. I wouldn't have them wrestle each other 100 times. But it will be something that I think people will definitely get into if you save it for SummerSlam. And if you build up the heat, maybe by having Randy just go full vicious heel on Riddle and, kick him in the head and stuff like that. Just go for it, man. If you're going to make the guy, make him. Go for it. And I'm all about it. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe, donate. Hit the links in the description to donate, to follow on Twitter, to do all that good stuff. And I'll talk to you guys later.